that sound good?
Sounds great.
Cool. So this is our new friend.
This episode brought to you by our new microphone.
It's super nice. I'm excited to have it.
You get like really intimate, be like, thanks for cooking with Lauren and Nick.
Nobody wants us ASMR. It's just us breathing heavily. So if anyone heard, we're not married this week.
No. If you're watching this on YouTube, no rings on our fingers. We had to get them. Well, we were getting them cleaned. Lauren, you lost the diamond.
I lost a diamond in my ring.
In one of your rings. Thankfully, I have the insurance coverage on all that, so it didn't cost me much. My ring was beat to shit.
Yours was. I'm excited to see it. They're gonna, was it re-rhodium dipping it?
Yeah, I don't know.
So it'll be shiny.
Doing something to it. So
that was fun.
But it's supposed to be back by Valentine's Day.
Yeah. So you can live the single life for now.
Right.
Except your finger's indented.
Yeah. Maybe we'll be gone by then. Maybe we'll have a chance to pick someone up.
In other news, Addie started preschool last week.
I started preschool. I was a hot mess.
All the tears.
Yeah. That was a new experience.
I think it's so weird because she wanted to go and then she still cried.
I think I don't know, she very much just wants to do her own thing.
Yeah.
And I think that when she realized that she can't do it there either.
She's like, oh, wait, gotta go.
We went to drop her off on her first day. And she was great. She went in, no problem. And then 30 seconds later, came running out, screaming, crying right into my arms. And I was ready to take her home because it just broke my heart.
Day 2 was so much better, though. Because I only took her by myself. And she looked at me and she was like, can I have a kiss? I said, yeah. And she said, bye. I was like, all right, she's good. It was okay.
Yeah.
I think it was overwhelming for us both to be there and kind of
shipping
her off.
We'll see how she does this week.
Yeah. She told me tonight she doesn't want to go. She said she got panicked when I said you have school this week.
Oh.
But I think she's just to get used to it.
We'll see. She's had a couple days to kind of process, We had a busy weekend. We've been working on content all weekend long.
Yeah.
Got a lot done, actually, which is nice.
Today we were nonstop. I think we worked for 10 hours on doing stuff.
Yeah.
Which was good because projects that I wanted to get done around the house also got done because I was filming them.
That's true.
So that was a win.
My editing it takes a lot longer. I mean, when I'm editing these, it takes significantly more amount of time than just putting together a 20-second to 2-minute reel. Because I have to sit and listen to this all over again when I edit this out.
So we got to make it good so you want to listen to it.
Yeah. No, it's been pretty good. It's been pretty easy. So,
yeah.
Getting us set up and ahead of the game there.
Thanks everyone for listening, by the way. It does mean a lot to us. Everyone that messages me and they're like, oh, this is funny or this, or can't wait for the next episode, that, it's cool.
Hopefully by the time this episode airs, we'll be further along, but we did just recently hit 100 followers on Instagram. Yes. We have anywhere from 5 to 10 subscribers on any of the platforms. So, share it with your friends. I know we're not much to look at.
I can't believe there's views on YouTube. There's enough. I'm okay, people are actually watching it.
You don't have to look at the microphone when you're talking to it.
I know, but I don't like looking at that. Hi.
I don't look at you.
Why? But we're talking together. Ugh. We could sit across from each other.
We could, but then I would need to get a second microphone.
No, we sit like this, side this way. If you were sitting this way and I was looking at you this way.
It's more comfortable.
Anyway. Yeah, so we did a lot of content today, and it got us to thinking about just crazy collaborations, companies we've worked with. It's so weird. It's so weird because before I was doing this full time, it was oh, this is easy. These people just sit there and just post and get paid. What? Yeah. It is absolutely not what it is.
It's not. It's funny. I was doing a shoot Friday morning. And it was really funny because I don't view us as it's a job, right? It's still a job. We enjoy doing it, but it's still a job. And the girls at this place that I was at, they were like, "Oh my gosh, you're a content creator? What's that like? This, that, and the other." And I'm like, I'm literally I still work a regular full-time job. Yeah. This is just kind of extracurricular, but they were almost glamorizing it, and I'm like, no, I was it's a lot of hard work.
Did you tell them your handle? Did you get the followers? You should have been
they knew who I was.
Follow me.
But it's I spend a lot of time explaining to people there is a lot of time that goes into this. I mean, it really is a second full-time job for us collectively. I mean, between going out and getting the content and then editing the photos, editing the videos,
it's a lot.
Putting all that together, that part of it alone is taxing. And then on top of that, sending out emails and messages and, follow-ups and basically, trying to get these collabs
it's a hustle.
going.
It's crazy.
It really is a hustle. You're working for yourself and you're selling yourself basically. So it does take a lot of time and effort.
We were talking to what, do you remember the first collab that you got paid for? What that was?
The first collab that I got paid for was Geeker, right? Was that the one that we...
No, was it Sposey?
Sposey, that's right. It was a children's underwear liner.
Yep.
As they're transitioning from diapers to underwear. I remember it was a funny one
That was a
because
cute video. You chased
I was like
Addie. That was
chasing
cute.
Addie with her potty.
Yep.
Um,
That was a good one.
yeah, I like that. And I like that one we had so much fun with. And I really, it was funny is like if you look at my content prior to that when I was just doing cooking and stuff and little things here and there that wasn't paid. And then that one really kind of changed the trajectory of how I started filming things and how I started approaching stuff. And then even different, like if you look at that one compared to, stuff that I'm going to post like this week,
Well, I
it's
feel like
just,
your cooking videos were so not you. I feel like you were
hey guys.
I feel like you were emulating, is that the word? Is that the
Yeah,
word?
sure.
Like you were just like not copying, but like trying to be these people that like are very aesthetic, and that's just not what we are. So it's hard. It's like you want to be like you want to make it look appealing, but like you also want to be you. So you don't want to just like you're doing like the transitions and like trying to do all
Yeah.
this stuff, and it's like, but that's not.
No, 2025 is definitely, going into this year and at the end of last year was about being true to myself and in the content that I make. And honestly, it's paid off because a lot of the collabs that I've gotten over the last couple of weeks, people have just been like, oh my gosh, like we love your content. We love that like you're real, you're raw, you are just are you. And that's great. And I think like that's been some of your best content lately too.
I know I've been trying to just do like regular, like
get out of
even
your
if it's
head.
supposed to be an ad, just making it more of like vlog style or incorporating it into my day, so it's not like, hi, buy this, like it's because that's not.
Yeah.
I'm not like that, and sometimes I feel weird even like. I mean, the products that we do promote, we do love them, but I'm not a consumer. Like I'm not a buyer. Like I don't.
Yeah.
So I don't want to be like buy this, buy this, buy this, because it's just not. It's not what I do. I
Right.
never spend money.
Well, what was your first
My
paid
first one.
collab? Do tell us.
No, we can't talk about the butter dish.
We can't talk about the butter dish because we still have this butter dish, and it's to date my favorite video
I know,
that
but
you've
it
ever
broke.
done.
I love that it broke. It broke that week, and I
Yeah.
was like, well, like there was like a seal around the lid, and it broke. But that video,
It's not any butter dish.
it's the Ibre butter dish
It's great for your kitchen.
for homemade baguettes and bagels. I can't believe I did that. They gave no direction, but it was the first time I was offered money, and they were like $50, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I know so many people say that. They're like, when I first got my a paid one, I thought that was so cool, and now we're out here like, oh, you're not paying? Bye.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about direction, and it's funny. It's like we know, having dealt with different companies, and there are some that'll be like, we're literally going to offer you a high five and a cup of tea or something, and they have like all of these posting requirements and they'll like scrutinize your content. Whereas like, again, I've been really grateful. Like some of the people that I've worked with recently are like, yeah, no, go do your thing.
Just post it. They don't even care.
Do what you do. Some of the restaurants that I've worked with recently are just, they're like, yeah, do the thing that you do. And I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. Like I like having that sort of the trust that they have in me and that creative freedom to just be myself and promote what I have to promote.
I know food is always a weird one for us because like we always toy with like, but it's food and we'll do it for free, but it is a job. So it's kind of like we've really tried to set the boundary. Because some people they'll be like, oh, we can offer you a $30 food credit, and you're like, okay, like no.
Like, and it also depends on like where we're going. I mean, the place that mentioned a $30 food credit was upwards of 2 hours away from here, and like there is a cost that goes along with this. Like you said, like it is a job, right? Like I left my second job to pursue this more, and there's my time. Like
we can't be putting out money, right? Like in the bare minimum. We can't be spending.
Be losing money on these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that sometimes like there are just people like that don't necessarily understand the work that goes into it, or they don't see the value behind it either.
Yeah.
I mean, we get a lot of companies that are very, I'll say, abrupt and or harsh in their responses because they're just like, nope, we don't do this.
I feel like from like the business standpoint of like items, selling items. They're always just like affiliate, commission.
Ugh.
And then for you with the restaurant stuff, you'll just get no.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, like I just sent you this whole really nice message and you said not interested.
But
and you're like, okay.
At least I get the no. There are so many people that just leave me on red.
Or don't even see it because nobody checks their goddamn messages.
Right. Businesses, by the way, I can see when you read messages on Instagram and Facebook and emails, so you should respond.
I think that companies semi get it, but restaurants like that we have talked to don't understand the impact that their response gives. We don't need a yes, right? It doesn't have to be yes, we're going to work with you. It can literally be like, no, we're not interested. Thank you so much. Like anything. Yeah. But there's been a couple, I can't even think of them off the top of my head, that their answer has just been so shitty that we're like, and now we would never go there because that's just shitty.
One of the meaner ones that I got recently was somebody who responded and said,
oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they were like, it was basically like, how dare you ask to be paid to do this? Like, we have people who do this for free. And I wanted to respond with, okay, but like, I have companies who reach out to me to pay me to do this stuff. So like,
was that the same person that said to you, they said, I'm trying to remember the way that it was worded. You can come here and eat as a patron, but we don't need the whole influencer thing.
That was somebody else.
But that was brutal. I
do get a lot of those where they're like we don't do paid collabs, and okay, fine, if you don't do paid collab, like
totally
I can work with you. But then they're the ones that are like, we don't work with influencers or we don't work with content creators.
And you're like, you have 50 followers, like I can help you.
Like I look at their pages and it's just poo poo, and then I feel bad, but at the same time it's like, well, now I understand.
So now I don't feel bad.
Right, now you're jerking, I don't feel bad, but now I also know why you only have 50 followers.
Yeah.
Now I know why you're not doing that. And then I see other businesses that have turned me down and will spend an exorbitant amount of money on these people that they think are like these high profile influencers or like big eaters or whatever.
What it is, or no?
What's that?
We're gonna drop the name.
I'm not gonna drop. They know who they are. There's two of them that are in mind and have turned me down at my rate because they're basically like, no, we're not going to do that. They spend all this money.
These other people.
Right, they're going to spend all this money on these other people, and then when I see so little return for them after the fact, and knowing that like I've gotten local businesses upwards of 100 to 200 extra followers just by running a giveaway or running an ad, like my views end up being almost the exact same as these high profile people.
And you also continue to promote, like all these businesses, even if you got paid or didn't get paid, some of you didn't get paid. If we love it, we're going to promote it.
Absolutely.
Like Covered Bridge Coffee, or I don't know, Meadowlark. There's the ones that were like Evolution Candy. We're always posting their stuff. Joseph's Pizza.
Yeah, because they're good people. You know, like these are like that's also the reason why I do what I do locally, is that I do want to support these businesses, and they're the people who understand that like I'm doing a business as well, and they're the ones who are like, yes, like I'll pay you. I had somebody recently who I reached out to and they want to negotiate. They said, listen, I don't have the budget, but I'm going to send you this product, can you try it out? And I said, sure, no problem, here's what I'm going to do for you, yada yada yada. And then they insisted on paying me just because I was so responsive to them and I was willing to work with them. And they're like, no, I have to. And I was like really adamant. I said, I'm not going to take it. And he basically forced it upon me. And I was like, all right, cool. Like but like now, like you're absolutely going to get like really good content out of this. Not that I wasn't going to do it in the first place, but like now I'm going to go above and beyond. Like I see their stuff and I repost it and I reshare it because I'm like, no, like you're a genuine person. Like you're not like one of those bosses that you or I have had. If you guys listen to the restaurant episode, we've just had our fair share of negative restaurant experiences just working in the industry.
I feel like we've met so many awesome people though. I was actually just thinking of someone else who was so nice and supportive is Philly Cookie Company.
Oh, absolutely.
Like he's like, a great guy. Follow these people. They're so cool. And we're like, you're so cool.
He even put up, because I remember he put up something after the fact, like on his own page.
His personal page.
Because he was dealing with the same thing. And I say this all the time is like, the reason I would never open up a restaurant, no matter how many times you people tell me I should, is like we collectively between the two of us have over 30,000 followers on Instagram. Mm-hmm. A lot of them are people that we know personally, and there's only 100 followers on our Instagram page for the podcast, and none of them are people that we know. Or they're like Instagram friends, they're social media friends.
Yeah.
And I think there might be like 5 or 6 people that are like family or friends.
Yep. And
he put something out there that, he's trying to do the same thing. Like he's hustling his business, and he was telling me like he can't even get his like sister to repost this stuff.
Uh-huh.
And it takes a one click, and we know that you're on there. We know that you're online.
Yeah.
But, we're getting away from the main topic of like the collabs that we worked with. Again, these business owners have just been, fantastic. These are businesses that like I would have never even considered going to, and that was also part of the reason that I did this, was to branch out from the same 4 restaurants that we always go to, the same 2 shop places. Like there's been so many new things, and, we've been able to discover so many new things because of this.
We talked about 2 people in particular that like really, we just love them. I mean, there's been so many, but Anthony from American Dream is like top tier to deal with,
Absolutely.
Him, here's my personal number, text me when you want tickets and you can come, because he really sees the value.
Yeah. And like, he always knows when we're there, even when we're not doing business.
When he gave me a hug last time, I was like, that is so nice. Yeah. Like you knew us.
He like sees us from across the mall. And if you've ever been to American Dream in New Jersey, like it's huge. And he'll like find us and be like, oh my gosh, how you guys doing? Do you guys need anything? What, can we plan something, whatever. Yep. And like, he's just such a great guy.
Yep.
So he's like the director of a few of the,
he does all the mini golf and the Tilt Museum.
Right. Which is awesome. So if you guys look on our pages from stuff that we've done in American Dream, a lot of that has been facilitated by Anthony, because he's just such a great guy.
Yep.
I'll never forget when you took me out for my birthday and he kind of like was giving us a tour and a bunch of stuff.
So cool.
And so if you don't know, there's a full indoor ski hill, snowboard hill in the American Dream Mall. It's so cool to see.
Doesn't even, oh God.
But he like walked us out.
He's like, you guys want to see the snow?
Oh
yeah.
Because like we're not snow people. Like we're not like snowboarders, skiers. Like we don't do that kind of stuff. But like to go and see that was so cool. Like I just want to go and ride the ski lift because that looks super fun. But I would have never experienced that as us. And I love good theming. I'm a sucker for theming. I'm a sucker.
If you like to ski and snowboard, definitely check this out.
You
the
have
Big
to,
Snow
I
at
think
American
it's Big
Dream.
Snow, yeah. And I won't really spoil it, but like the locker rooms are huge. You go in, you get all set up,
Don't spoil it.
and then the experience to get you onto the hill is just really great theming. It like got me excited, and I was like, man, I want to go snowboarding
Because we're
now.
going skiing.
Like I thought it was so
It
cool.
was. And then the other person that we always talk about is Ryan from Dorney Park.
Ah,
This man,
a saint.
so responsive, so nice, so cool. I was there doing a collab. Ryan set me up with tickets to go to the park.
Yeah.
And then you started posting foodie content. And he messaged you and he's like, hey, I'm loving your post today.
It was
So
such
you
a
were like
fluke.
live posting.
Yeah, because I was starting, I said, I'm going to just start like posting a lot of the stuff that we do anyway, because I was obviously always with you
Yeah, doing
when we went to do this stuff. So I'm like, cool, let me take advantage of this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to post about food. So I started posting about our whole day at Dorney. And halfway through the day, I get a message on Instagram, I think.
and he was just like,
right.
content.
And yeah, he was like, hey, I love this. Because I don't
Well,
think I like tagged you in anything.
No.
So I don't think he put together that you and I were there together.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I love your content. He's like, we should really work together.
You were
I was
like,
well,
I am.
coincidentally, I'm here with my wife who is doing content for you. And then that's how we ended up getting into the haunt. Was he invited me out to cover that.
Yep.
Because they were having their VIP event, and they were like, they have a new chef on staff, and they wanted to showcase the food, and they wanted us to go, and it was so cool. And I know I talked about this before, where like
you were not about the haunt life.
I
and now
don't
you're, like,
do.
all
I
about
never
the
did the
haunt.
haunts until Dorney Park.
Yep.
But I was so excited that this guy had reached out to me to do work that like I got bold and I said, you know what, fine, we're gonna go and do this. And then it was like, I think on the way home, I looked at you and I was like, what did I do? I'm gonna have to go to this. But let me tell you, I will say this all year.
He's already looking forward to it.
I'm counting down the days for opening day of Dorney Park's haunt,
So
because
good.
they do it so well, and I'm obsessed.
It was
and
awesome.
Everyone there is amazing. All the staff is incredible. Ryan is and I remember that was actually the first time we met him in person.
Yep.
Was at the VIP event for the haunt.
He was like, I love what you guys do, because you do the family and the mom stuff, and then you do the food. So it's like we're going to the same place, but showing it different ways.
Yeah.
He's like, I love that. He's like, I know. He's like, I get a 2 for 1. I'm like,
Yeah,
you really do.
basically.
So he's great.
Which we do. I mean,
that's how we pimp ourselves sometimes.
It's
We're like,
definitely
hi,
helped
there's 2
us,
of us.
in some of the more like what we would consider higher profile businesses or theme parks that maybe require a lot more followers, a lot more interactions, things like that. Is we go, listen, like, you guys are getting 2 for the price of 1. And again, it's 2 different types of content.
Yep.
Which even when for that short while when we merged our pages, it was covering such a large gambit and a large area of content.
Yep.
That it was great, because we cover so many bases, and we get such a large audience because of that.
For sure. It's awesome.
Yeah.
But we talked about 2025 being the year where we don't really accept free anymore.
Well, and that's, again, it's I think to talk about the commission-based ones and the affiliate programs, I look at I know it's not an MLM, but like it really is how I view that. Because
I mean, you always say, like, we're not your employee. Like,
Yeah.
we're promoting you.
I don't
Like,
work for you. I'm a private contractor doing media. I'm doing advertising. I don't do sales for your company.
Yeah.
And I'm not knocking people that do that, because I know that there are people out there who are successful in affiliate programs, but I also know the type of return that I get when I've worked with companies that like measure clicks and interactions and things of that nature. I know that, not everybody is out there looking for these products. Not everybody's out there doing that. And
they should see it as an opportunity too to get like a professional, I guess we're professional, like professionally done video. Like they can, like, half the time you're like giving them the video. You're like, here is this,
Yeah.
a video for you to use on your website, on TikTok, wherever you want to use it.
Mhm.
So it's like, they need to view it more like that.
Yeah.
And again, especially if it's a free item.
And that would have sucked if that was muted the whole time.
Yeah, that would have been bad. So why would you even touch it? Like, don't even jinx it. Don't even touch it.
All right, no, we're good. We're good. Whew. That happened every once today.
But there's some things that, like, I always say, like, there are exceptions to the rule, right? I think about Parasol diapers when I worked with them.
Yes.
Once I got that collab, I did not buy diapers for Addie.
Yeah.
So I was like, how am I turning that down? I'm not. And,
Yeah.
she needed a new stroller when I got that collab. There's certain ones that are like, we wanted a new mattress. Like, certain things that you're going to spend money on anyway. And that's why we're always torn about food. We're like, well, we like food. But it's like, it's hard. It's hard because it does. I mean, once you put into like I always used to say, I would do it always for the free stuff.
Right.
But I turned down, 100 emails a week for free stuff. Like, well, I can't take all those videos. I can't make all that content.
Yeah.
It really depends what it is.
And like you said, it's like, what are we going to do with all that stuff anyway? Like, a lot of times there are things, because now that I've been doing a lot more content, been a lot more involved in the influencer universe, if you will. Like I get those emails too, and they're like, "Oh, like you should promote this product." I'm like, I
I don't
literally
need
have
that.
no use for that. I have
Yeah.
no use for that stuff.
Mm-mm.
And that's where I'm just kind of like, that these marketers are literally just going down a list and clicking and sending an email rather than like looking at the content.
Yeah.
Because a lot, I mean, there are some that like are just almost laughable when they promote to us.
Yeah. But what would you say is like your least favorite, not preferred collab?
Oh,
We're gonna say them by name. We're gonna give the tea.
so my least favorite was, what was it called? You know what it's called. I can never remember.
Family safe.
Family Safe. It's a child safe app for like tablets and phones, things like that. Like I could connect to my kid's tablet. And don't get me wrong, the concept was really great. And I think like once you had it and got it working, it was fantastic. But the process of getting it set up and working, like I didn't have a working laptop at the time, but I needed a laptop to connect the devices.
Yeah, yeah.
And I had to like figure all that out. And then like it would, like when I was trying to do stuff on the phone, it would like block certain things and the app started like shutting. And then they were like so particular in the content too. And it wasn't a high paying thing. They kept coming back and they were like, I think I had to do like 3 or 4 different edits that were absolutely ridiculous because they sent out a script. They sent me a script. They said, do this. And I did the script and I did the filming exactly the way the script said. And then they came back and they were like, you need to reshoot this.
Well, I felt
This
like
isn't what we
you made
want.
3 videos for them total. The first video, it was okay. Second 2 concepts they gave you were exactly the same.
Yeah.
Like almost exactly the same video. And we only have one kid who uses a tablet, like who was using a tablet and a phone, whatever. It was like, why do you want this shot twice?
Yeah.
But different? It was weird.
It was weird. It was so weird. And then, like I said, they basically they sent out an email and they were like, here's, 10 different prompts that you can choose from, choose 2 of them. So I chose the 2 and I literally copied the prompt word for word and made it my own thing. And I sent it back. I said, does this work for you guys? They said, great, do that. And even like the prompts were like down to the second. I remember it was like 2 seconds of this shot, 2 seconds of this shot. And I did exactly that for both of those reels. And they came back with all of these edits. And I said, oh, you know what? Once we're done with them, we're done. And then I remember they came back because they wanted me to do a bunch of UGC content for them. And I quoted them some outrageous number because I was like, there's no way that I'm going to continue partnering with them unless they're going to pay a ton of money.
We need to play a game of we listen and we don't judge. Okay. We listen and we don't judge.
Okay.
You have to say it.
Oh, we listen and we don't judge.
So sometimes in content creation, well, I'm in charge of my husband's email at times. What?
Stop hitting the table.
Oh, I'm sorry. My leg is there. Sometimes when I'm in charge of my husband's email. So Family Safe actually contacted me first. I think I did tell you this.
You did tell me this.
And I read the instructions and thought, we'll give that one to my husband. So I had my husband reach out from his email because I knew they were paying and I knew you would be excited about the rate. And I know that you know electronics. So that was on me. Sorry.
I will say, as annoying as that is, at the end of the day, it's the advantage of you and I working together the way that we do because like you have access to my email and we share a Google Drive with all the stuff on it. So like you're able to post our TikTok content. I'm able to post the YouTube content. If I'm at work and I'm busy, like you can upload reels for me if I need to get it put up.
Yep.
But like you're really great at like negotiating and you set up a lot of the prompts that I basically send out to pitch myself. You've kind of like worded a lot of them for me.
I'm professional when I need to be.
When you need to be, yeah. And then I do all the editing and I make the photos look nice and I get all the equipment for us.
We're a good team.
I take care of the podcast page and I do all of our flyers and all the little graphics that we need and stuff like that. So we each serve a purpose, which is really nice. And there are times where we do get bogged down, but I almost feel bad for the content creators that are doing it by themselves,
which is
because
the
I see the work
them,
that they're doing. Yeah, it's the majority of them, and I'm like, I know what kind of work that is. It's a lot. And on top of that, like I still have a full-time job. You still take care of the house. You take care of the kids.
Yep, it's a lot.
We keep everything going here. But I'm glad that we have the team that we have to do this because we can rely on each other when we need to.
Yeah.
What was your worst collab?
I think 2 stick out in my head, I would say. I'm trying to think. I feel like, most of you know that I worked with Next Playground for a really long time. And it wasn't my worst collab, but it was definitely the most, I would say, disappointing collab.
Sure.
Because I did work with them. I made over 10 videos for them. Got invited to their event in New York, which was probably the coolest thing that's ever happened. I was like, that's so cool that we got handpicked. The event was super great. Everyone that was there was super great. And I mean, if you're listening and you weren't, in my close friend story listening to me bitch, basically it just didn't end up working out. I basically asked for more money. I mean, I worked with them for so many months that it was like, I grew my following so much. My videos were getting better and I just felt, I deserved more money. And when I got turned down, I was like, we're going to sever this here. And I mean, they had a bunch of stuff going on where definitely inconsistencies with different creators. It's one of my pet peeves. Is like, put us all on the same pedestal. If a certain way things are supposed to be a certain way across the board.
And we've talked before, is like, I don't know if some of these companies realize like how tight the content creator community can be, because when all that was happening, you had like 5 or 6
these
different
are all my friends.
Right. You have 5 or 6 different friends that were like, oh, we're working with Next now. And they're like, this is one price. This is another price. This is this thing. We have somebody who still hasn't even been paid, you know, and it's
and I'm like, oh, these people are just signing on and getting the rate that I'm getting on my 10th video. This is not
yeah, like
cool.
You worked up to that rate.
Yeah.
And then they were just being shitty about it.
Yeah.
And then they were even being more shitty when you called them on it. When you were like, so why is all of this happening? You know, why is this person?
Normally I would let it go. I mean, this has happened a few times where I'm just kind of like, all right, you know what, whatever. But this time I was like, I took it very personally. I guess I shouldn't. Like, it's their choice, but
I mean, like you basically were one of their initial influencers that worked with them. Like the system that we have
is like the test system.
It's a test system.
Yeah.
You know, before it had even gone on to Amazon, before it had even hit the market. And yeah, they were just like, oh, well, you know, you can't show this in a video. And we're like, you literally just posted a reel with all of the stuff you said that we can't show in our video. So where's that line?
It's crazy though. If you look on their page now, they don't really, I mean, they are still working with some people. I don't know if they're finishing out contracts with them, but it's all like celebrity basketball players, famous players.
Yeah,
like,
they must have just landed a couple big contracts and they basically told everyone,
bye.
They're like, we're done, we're good. And then of course the kicker was like, you got out before the holidays, but everyone was getting annoyed during the holidays because some people were working off of a commission-based system.
And you can't get the system.
And they didn't have the system available for the holidays.
No, there was a back order, like big time. It wasn't on Amazon. One of the last things that I was doing was promoting that it was in Target, Best Buy, and Walmart, I think. And they weren't available anywhere.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so how are we getting paid?
Right.
Like what? So that was a crappy one. But isn't it so weird how like some of the, I mean, like they were good to me until they weren't, which is okay. But I was thinking about you doing like Wise and how like they were so easy. Like we were stressing. We were like, oh my God, this is a big one. Like we shop there. This is great. And they loved your video. Just like that. They were like, here's your money and here's your whatever. Yeah. Like it was so easy.
They were super clear. They're like, we need 2 reels, this one and this one. This is what it's going to be. Great.
It's so weird how like some of them are so easy.
I sent it to them for approval. They said, great, everything looks fantastic. Here's your posting dates, do it. And
the other one I was thinking of Temu, which I'm sure if you've worked with them, you know. They're
kind of all over the place.
They're all over the place because I've been contacted by multiple different representatives with different budgets.
So Temu is a weird company.
Yeah, so Temu is definitely is a weird one for me. And the other one that I wanted to mention is they weren't there was nothing wrong with them, but lollies. Do you remember how many edits I had to make for them?
Yeah, that was a lot.
I think it was like 4 or 5 edits. Yeah. And they were like I made the video. I thought it was good. I like, you know, when you're proud, it's always when they're going to turn you down. You're like, this video is epic. And they're like, nah, no, it's not.
Always, every time.
I remember sending the girl's name's Bonnie that works at Next. And I sent a video and I was like, this video is great. And she was like, this is absolutely not what we're looking for. That's what I knew was going downhill.
Defeated.
But Lollies was basically like, no, we want him to lick the lollipop. We want him to open the lollipop. We want it to be this. We wanted him to say this.
They always tell you after the fact.
And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, what? Like if that was all in the paper.
Yeah.
But,
you know, bottom line is we're very thankful for the great business owners that we've come across.
There's been more good. There's been way more good.
Absolutely. You know, we haven't mentioned you. You guys know who you are. You know, so we thank you. And it's been a great journey. If anybody has any questions about, you know, us and our content creation and companies that we've worked with, anything that, you know, you guys might be curious about, shoot us a message. You know, don't be afraid to ask. Like we
won't always blast them on a podcast or online, but we will talk all the shit in the DMs. If you want the deets.
Yeah. If you want like some of the deeper dirt,
we'll tell you.
Shoot us a message.
Yeah. I'll always talk.
But,
as always.
Thanks for cooking.
Thanks for cooking.
Let us know how the new mic sounds too.
You can't talk after we say thanks for cooking. Like that's the end.
Let us know how the new mic sounds. Okay, bye. Thanks for cooking.